Okay. All right. So what was the question?
What's the name of your show? Because my label was asking, and I need you to talk. I need you to talk to the label heads. Too, like when you get a chance after you come back from your sabbatical, because I know you're going through it right now. I need you to talk to my label, so you guys can reach an arrangement because it's your music. So I can't do it without you. One, and then two, we got to discuss like the split sheets and all that shit. So, which is good. That's not a problem. But I need to do shit legally. You know what I'm saying? Because these niggas just finna take off. Like they got
The name of the radio station is KJCC Radio. Write that shit down so you don't have to ask. I've been telling everybody it's KJCC. It's San Jose City College. San Jose City College, that's the radio station there. The college radio station is KJCC Radio, San Jose City College. That is the radio station, and the radio station link or the website is kjcclive.com. That's KJCC Real Campus Radio. Yeah, boy. KJCC Real Campus Radio on kjcclive.com. That's what it is. That's the name of the college radio station, KJCC. And people ask, what does KJCC stand for?
KJCC, KJ Community College, but what's KJ? What's KJ?
I was about to tell you what KJCC stand for. So SJCC means San Jose City College. KJCC is just the call letters for SJCC, but they replaced the S with the K because you got to put a K in front of your call letters or a W. Remember? All call letters start with a W or a K. So they just replaced the S with the K, and so it's still San Jose City College, but they calling it KJCC for Jose City College.
Legality purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir.
And then, is there like a portal that we have to click on for you, or how do we look for that individual listing? You feel what I'm saying? Like if the label is just trying to look for numbers or whatever. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened. Are we on the air right now, by the way? Because I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Yes, we're on the air. We're on the air. We're having a regular convo, but we're asking some good questions. So, to answer your question, the college radio station, KJCClive.com or, KJCC Real Campus Radio is available on the internet. Just go to the internet, search any web browser, and just search KJCC Real Campus Radio or KJCC Radio, or you could just simply put in KJCClive.com on the server, on the, the URL. So you can search it on any browser. That's a U.S. government radio station. So, you could search it anywhere on the web and it'll pop up. KJCC Real Campus Radio. Simple. It's that simple.
So when this session is done, it's going to be posted onto the site. And then, like, if I wanted Modern X to go and look this site up, which my name is Kode Red, by the way. Hi, everybody. We didn't drop the introduction. So, hi. My name is Kode Red. I'm a.k.a. Michael Militia. I'm a hip-hop artist, peer support specialist, and University of Phoenix business student. So when they're done, they're going to be able to check this out, right? So I can just be like, hey, go over here and check this out, right? And that's just how that works.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's when it comes to my show is the JBLUE show. That's a podcast. So when you're talking about the radio or the college radio, you're talking about KJCC. And then if you're talking about my podcast or my show, you're talking about the JBLUE show. So
I would like to interview her, this particular female artist that I have, who's a really inspirational, entrepreneurist, and spiritualist type of lady at whatever place that you think would fit her best. Does that make sense? With like the most maximum viewing that would be allotted to her. That's what I would like to do.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time. What is it that you, or was she like, what is it that you trying to do?
So I have an artist, I've been tasked with getting an interview from you for a artist from Modern X Records that will be announced when we get the details on that interview, right? But I want whatever platform fits her best with you, whether it's your personal podcast or whether it's the San Jose City College format, then whatever that's going to allot for her maximum doability, basically, and like her metrics, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I need. Because there's some great things happening in the Modern X right now. It's some really cool shit happening in the Modern X.
So
right
tell
now.
us about Modern X and how is that going for you?
So what happened is when I was 16, I ran away from my mom's house and I went to my day one Marcos Teggy. That's MARKOSTEGUI, aka Shinobi. So you can look him up on YouTube, you can look him up on Facebook, all that. Y'all check him out. He's got a new single out called Delusion, which is pretty fire. It's pretty fire. And he's like again, everybody that I roll with is real inspirational, bro. So when I was 16, I ran away to this dude's house, and his mom basically welcomed me into his house. Like, we're brothers, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with him and his brother and for a while. And so then, you know, time goes on and we separate or whatever. And recently, we reconnected over a course of several years having different conversations. He has a construction company in San Diego called Skills Levels. So shout out Skills Levels. If you guys need building in San Diego, shout that out. That's one. And then two, there's a company that is his called Modern X Records. And what Modern X Records does is pay artists to have a new art. I'm not sure she's new, but we're going to say she's new to y'all. So she's new at the roster. And again, I was asked, could I get her an interview? And I told him, yeah, you know what I mean? You know what would be an awesome place is come over here with Blue because I've had all these great conversations with you and all this fun with you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that will be a great place for her, particularly if it's like in the collegiate setting sounds like pretty dope, dude, because that's what time it is with everything. We're talking about a lot of heavy content on all the records that we're doing. So with Modern X, I reached an association with you with where you're doing the music management for me at this point, and Modern X is getting ready to ramp up my studio sessions, and then after that we'll discuss the rest of the details of how that works. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So that tells me a little bit about Modern X, and that gives me a little info on that. It sounds like Modern X is a producer, because I think I've heard of that before.
No, it's not a producer. It's a label out of San Diego. It's really an artist collective. I guess you would better say that. You would call that an artist collective, even though it does have a label. Like underneath this lady's single that I sent you tonight, it says Modern X underneath there. He's in Modern X. Moving forward, that's what I'm going to say with mine. Modern X is moving really, really fast. Like at the speed of light, a lot of great things are happening for him over there that I can't really discuss, that I'm not at liberty to discuss yet. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that, yeah, you might have probably heard of them. They did some things for some people, bro, and some really awesome things for some people. Shinobi moved really fast, and he's really smart at what he's doing. And so that's the reason why everything's working the way it's working. And then, of course, I have you guys both at Black Wall Street and then at West Coast Mafia and Money Hunter Brick Boys. I have you guys over here supporting me, too. So I got a lot of support right now for these projects.
Yeah. Yes. Shout out to all the supporters and participators and followers and things like that. Things is it's got much better since you came back in the picture. Tell us a little bit why you went missing in action, if you don't mind, and what brought you and what brought you back to Arizona.
All right, so check this out. So I want to ask you a question before I get into that. All right, so you know what toxic masculinity is? You do, of course you do, right?
Tell us what that is.
So let's have a definition. It's an exaggerated set of traits that is hyper masculinity, right? So all these negative things of what a man should not do, right? So that's my definition. But by the actual definition on the thing, it says toxic masculinity refers to the notion that some people's idea of manliness perpetuates domination, homophobia, and aggression. Toxic masculinity includes cultural pressures for men to behave in a certain way, and it's likely that this affects all boys and men in some fashion. All right? So that's the first thing, is we know what toxic masculinity is now because I read you the definition, right? But my question is, it's like a form of abuse of a man towards a woman a lot of times too. Or like when we're in the gym locker, remember when we were jocks? You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, you're not a man if you don't do this, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like all these hyper microaggressions. Yeah, that's a form of toxic masculinity. But it also comes in a different form, right? So what's that called when a woman abuses a man? Or when we hear from our mothers, hey, you're going to wind up just like your dad. You're not expletive, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to wind up just like your dad. What's that called? Do you have a definition for that, Blue? Because then after you answer that, I'm going to tell you what happened.
Sounds like you gave us the word to that definition and you just broke it down for us, and we appreciate that. So I don't have the answer. I'm just learning. So, I don't really want to try to guess anything. I'm just more here to try to resonate and elaborate on what you're talking about. So, just go ahead and give us some insight on this word or what or a word that describes that meaning for us. Because here's the beauty of this thing, right? So Saturday I get to facilitate a classroom as one of my final exams for becoming a peer support specialist. And so we got to do a thesis that had to do with incarceration, substance abuse, or mental health. And so my premises was that a lot of the biggest proponents of toxic masculinity could potentially be women. And it starts with us as little boys, maybe coming from our mothers, or maybe women that had ideals and, try to hold us to a certain set of ideals that might not have been us, or even our own, quote unquote brotherhood of males trying to hold us to certain ideas that might not be so cool, right? And as far as I've searched for this answer, which the EP that it's going to become more of an album now because there's a lot of stuff. Beauty of West Coast Mafia, we could really, really drop a track every day if we just plugged into the studio the right way, and it would be dope, and we will get it out. And it would be creative, and all types of mental health things will come out of that. Will come out of that good, all types of positive traits of mental health. Because that's a lot of what we discuss. We're not out here just gangbanging on records. We're out here really gangbanging on the system, telling people what's wrong. So as far as I know, there's no word for that. Now, regarding that, what happened to me was I formed a trauma bond, and I got love bombed. And it's my fault, but it's also not my fault. You know what I'm saying? But in order to take responsibility, you got to take responsibility for a situation so you can grow from that situation. Make sense? Yeah, got you. Oh, and so basically, you're saying that you came back to the music shit and went back to Arizona because of this incident, you know, that it was kind of your fault and it kind of wasn't your fault. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, I formed a trauma bond in California. So I had a situation with one of my studios in Northern Cali, shout out Sine Wave, and again, I don't want to air that necessarily out either, but something happened in one of my studios, and I had just like provided them some finances. So I wanted to go check up on my investment, and also at the same point in time, I formed a trauma bond with a young lady. As far as I'm concerned, she's still a cool young lady, man. We still, I'm not cool with her, you know what I'm saying? We're not cool with each other no more. That's okay. I still pray for her, and I still wish her the best, and I hope that she reaches her highest potential. But had I known that she was narcissistic, bipolar, like all these other disorders, I wouldn't have necessarily jumped out the window like that. So I jumped out the window, and when I jumped out the window, I met the cement. That's what happened. And I came back to Arizona because in California there wasn't really anything that I could do financially at that point to bolster my situation or to pad my landing. And so with that being said, hey, it's all experiences, you know, it's all experiences, it's all the records. I've got a dope record that just got produced by Anthony Storm called She's a Runaway. It's called She's a Runaway. And that's a beautiful record, dude. It talks about trauma bonds, it talks about love bombing, all that stuff. And the rest of the way, you know, God led my steps, bro. Like honestly, God really, really led my steps, because there's other things that could have happened in Cali, as you're aware of. You know, I could not be having this conversation with you. A lot of cats thought that I was permanently ghost. You know, now that's not what happened. I kind of took a sabbatical, came back, and refocused on this music stuff with even more of a clear head and more diligent, and like I'm hungrier than I ever was right now. You've seen the workload within a week, Blue, honestly, how many tracks did I make within a week this time? Like,
wow.
You seen it?
I mean, the very first collab I sent you, you knocked it out, like, I would say, like, within 10 minutes or something. Like, I thought it was going to take you, like, a day or two, because you were talking about I need to get my, you know, pull myself together, and, you taking your crafts all serious. I thought it was going to take you, like, you know, some time, but you end up doing a track like in like less than an hour, and it sounded dope, and it was all written. And I said, how the fuck you write a song in 10 minutes? Like, that's some Tupac shit, you know? So I'm like, fuck, you know? It almost feels like you freestyle all of your stuff, and then you come out and tell us you wrote it. I'm like, what? You wrote that? Damn, you wrote that shit hella fast. But that's how I do.
I do as a combination. I write it down for clarity and cohesiveness, but generally my writing process is
freestyle.
I'm gonna go walk to the cafeteria. I'm gonna listen to the record. I'm gonna put my headphones in. I'm gonna go walk to the cafeteria, man. I'm gonna get me a cup of tea, check the record out. You know what I'm saying? Like, meditate on it, spit some, and be like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Write it down for clarity. Scratch it out like M said, you know what I'm saying, at 8 Mile. Oh, that don't look right. But if I do this way, then this calculation will come out and sound like this. You know what I'm saying? And then so you wind up with what's called a bunch of non sequiturs. And that's the soul of my music. You know? So it's just like me jotting down everything that I'm going through in life, and then coming up with conclusions or statements, how do you say that? It's not logically followed from the previous agreement or statement. Sometimes, or it might follow logically. You know what I'm saying? The statement might follow logically. For example, the answer right now, we talked about everything that we said we were going to talk about. We talked about trauma bonds, we talked about love bombing, we're talking about MK Ultra on the album, we're talking about microwaves, like not literally the microwave in your kitchen, but like microwave rays like Project Bluebeam, just all this cool hyper shit on the album, right? And right now, the fusion that's happening between Modern X, Black Wall, and West Coast Mafia reminds me of like strange music. Shout out Mr. Stinky. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny because cats, you know what was trying to happen. So that's where we're at with things, and it's a good feeling, bro. I'm just waiting for the conclusion of these things to come to a tipping point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're saying is that since it was kind of your fault and kind of not your fault of the incident that took place, what led you to go missing in action and then return to the music business and go back to your Arizona so that you can get financially stable or whatnot. Then you decided, that you could take this more seriously because you have a clear head. You don't have any more narcissism or love bombing or trauma bonding happening right now because you are clean. You've cleared your head and you've been through some programs, or you're in one right now as we speak, and now you have got more content than you thought or that you would have had. Now it's no longer going to be an EP, it's going to be an album. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen, because even the young lady that I mentioned to you, like, I want to do a record with her for there. I want to do a record with Shaolin Flames on there too. Which I heard that she was going to pull up on us. Yeah. And I heard her music. I'm very impressed with her music. I heard she's going to pull up on us. Yeah. So I'm cool with that. I finally got Meezy. I got Meezy on the record. Yeah. I get what I wanted out of Meezy on the record.
Meezy DiCaprio. Meezy Feta. How you say his name? Meezy Fettuccine?
Meezy Fettuccine DiCaprio.
Meezy Fettuccine Meezy Fettuccine DiCaprio. DiCaprio. Yeah. It's duh, not D. DiCaprio. DiCaprio.
Yeah,
I like that.
Fettuccine, duh, like. What you mean that you ain't heard of him? What you mean? Duh. Like,
Meezy Fettuccine DiCaprio. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, DiCaprio.
Yeah, he dropped some dope ass bars on that shit too. He sing and rap.
Yo, he gave us some fire. Did I get what I wanted out of him? Not really, because I wanted it a little bit longer. And but I'm blessed to have what I got, and I'm happy with what I got. And that's the key to life, folks. Is having the gratefulness mentality and the abundance mentality. That's the other thing. Always recognize that you're gonna have like more, like, and we're not talking necessarily like finances, but we're talking about like happiness, health, clear mind, associations of families and business associations around you, like positive things like that, bro. Mental growth, things like that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that mentality. Having that mentality, in 80% of medical cases makes people necessarily heal a lot faster. Did you know that?
Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware of that, man.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing. Is that a good thing to you? Is that a good thing or a bad thing to you?
That's an awesome thing to me. I mean, you can't be walking around with negative thoughts in your head, bro.
Right.
There's this video called "Use Your Thoughts to Optimize Your Health," and it's by. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. "Use Your Thoughts to Optimize Your Health" is by. Dude, I just thought about his name today too, and I can't remember it, guys. I'm sorry, you guys. At any rate, dude, there's this guy. Oh, Dr. Joe Dispenza. There you go.
Mr. Spencer.
His name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. Are you familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Wow. I'm familiar with doctors. I'm not familiar with that particular doctor. I might have heard of him since he's a doctor. I'm pretty sure that I don't think I've ever met him or worked with him before. I never had to do any in business or invest with that guy. But that's
So doctor, go ahead.
That sounds like someone that you're getting acquainted with. Is that right?
Not personally, but I would love if this podcast reaches out to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Dr. Joe Dispenza really hit me up. There's some things that we can talk about. So Dr. Joe Dispenza is a New York best-selling author, right? You're familiar with the law of attraction?
Yes, I'm familiar with the laws of attraction. That's one of the 48 laws of power. Am I correct?
Well, they're a little bit different, but yeah, it's kind of similar.
Sort of similar, but it's a different. It's a whole different novel, right?
Yeah, it's a similarity. That's another thing too. Is there's a book on that too. Yeah, and it's a different principle. The law of attraction is just basically if you think negative, negative things will come your way. If you think positive things will come your way, and your body responds like that too. Okay, so Dr. Joe Dispenza is this dude that was researching that because what happened to him was he waved his arm, I guess, and when he waved his arm, he was like, he thought of something, and I guess a car hit him, and the doctor said that he wasn't going to walk again. Well, apparently he's walking because of the power of his mind and what some of these people don't tell us. So what's cool about that is the affirmations and things of that nature that we're talking about with that are also represented in the answer, which is my album. So that's what's cool. I'm doing a lot of healing and a lot of growth in this project, bro. And it's a lot of shadow work and a lot of like deep inner discovery on this particular project, and a lot of expression and letting go of a lot of things. Sometimes there's grieving on the album. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's anger. A lot of times there's anger on the album. I'm letting go. You know what I'm saying? But there's healing on the album too, and that's fire, dude. And I think that's the reason why the universe is starting to bless us with such dope music and so many cool things, bro. Like today, that's the other thing is I can probably transfer to San Jose City College eventually. Maybe, I don't know, do they have dorms there? Do they have dorms?
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
I might could transfer over there. I might do a session over here at University of Phoenix first, and then I might transfer. But as of today, I can go back to school here soon. I just gotta apply for my FAFSA, and then I'm gonna go back to school after I get my peer support certification. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do too. And so it's not just only like me rapping on a records or whatever. Like this is like about like life changing, and I'm literally like claiming what's mine in my life, both on this album and literally. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, what is your response to doing the album without the artist? And I don't want to, I want to say Vibes because I know she was an artist as much as as well. And I know that you guys had did some records together. That's in the Van Lab. I didn't touch it. How do you feel about proceeding, or going on with that, without, moving with her, how is that going to work for you, how do you think that's going to work out for you, since you're recovering now, you're in your clear head? Do you think this album is going to come out a little bit more, a little bit more heavy, toxic? Do you think it's going to be more entertaining, more, how do you feel this album is coming out so far as since you've been out?
So it's less things in a way now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Honestly, it's less things in a way now.
That's the answer I was looking for. That's the answer I was looking for.
I don't have no bad vibes against high vibes, man. Like, respect and love, you know what I mean? What she wanted to do is what she wanted to do. I wish you had just told me what you wanted to do before you did what you did. And, like, I was honest with her, and I opened my heart to this lady and did what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was honest with her. So, I feel like that's what she should have been with me, too. And that's not how that happened. So, but I also feel like, karmically speaking, for all the bad that I ever did in the world, that's, hey, karma bites you in your ass sometimes, man. It bit me in my ass. and that's a growing lesson, and is painful. On the record with me to DiCaprio, I say, I still love you if anybody ever asks. That's not. It's different because now I'm growing from that. Like, I was bitter. I was mad at God, bro. I didn't understand why. I was frustrated. I was anxious and like angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was high. Now I'm not really angry anymore. Now I'm just like, I'm hungry for this music shit, and I want us to do what we're gonna do with this music shit, because that's the end of the lesson. You know what I mean?
So what is it that?
Time wave. My boy Sean had a very powerful epitaph, which was turn your trauma into a dollar. I'm very much about that.
So I think I heard you correctly. I think I heard some of your, your goals, some of your wants and your, aspirations. Now, tell us this, Mr. Kode Red, aka My Kill Militia. What is it about this project and the music business that you don't want? And what is it that you don't want to happen right now?
Any more distractions or lacking or improper communication or like not the right paperwork being done. We need to do the right paperwork with these things, and we need to push these projects and all the other projects within our squads as a whole, and we need to stay focused, and we need to stay energetic and positive and hungry for this shit right now, because it's ours. We have enough people connected that are really awesome and can really do a lot of dope music, and if they stay focused and instead of focusing on their negativity and shit, stuck in their feelings, like negative feelings, you know what I'm saying? We'll be able to dominate like really easy, bro. Because motherfuckers is just not speaking like us, dog. I see why Cecil left you when he left you. I see why. You haven't done a bad job at all. You know what I mean? I see why you're a subsidiary. I get it.
I try. I just, what it is I try to, just like you told me, I have, what'd you say, a good presentation. That's what I try to do. I just try to keep a good presentation and a good reputation, and sometimes it's not easy to do that. And I got a lot of improvement. I got to work on that. That's why I'm listening to you, because you're sharpening my tools now as you speak. So go ahead, keep going, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to add to that. That's all.
No, you good, and I'm very grateful for you, bro. And we should. This is for me. I look at you as a brother, bro. That's one, and two, like,
same.
Because like, that's the same thing with you. You sharpen me too. You try to make sure that my head isn't in the clouds, dude. Even when I was going through what I was going through, you were still telling me, hey, bro, X, Y, and Z can happen, right? Hey, be careful, Cole. Like, this, that, and the other. You told me all these things, dude. You know what I mean? But sometimes I'm hard-headed, man. Sometimes I gotta learn from my own mistakes, and I'm not perfect, and that's all of us in this association. All of us are imperfect, but together we're perfect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah, in fact, our imperfectness is what imperfect is in fact is to be perfect. we know that for sure. We know that there's this thing called nothing is perfect. And we know that's a perfect I don't know if I should say creator or creation, but that is a perfect creation, the fact that nothing is perfect, but or no one is perfect. I feel that's, but I'm just don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, don't say that. That's not true. You do. And you've been advocating for all of us, and that's where it starts. The thing is, even even lives, bro. I'm still fighting for even her, dude. I don't think people understand what is really so big about the answer until they hear it and the message that I have for it. And what's cool about it is in all my therapy sessions and all the self-growth that I'm going to, a lot of times I'm looked at as the one with a sustainable answer. And what I realized, here's the key. If you're not a good steward of what you already have, the Lord's not going to bless you. Even if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, even if you don't believe in Yahweh, and you just believe in a higher power and just the universe isn't going to bless you by doing negative, smutty shit to people. It's not. That's just not how universal causality works. You know what I'm saying? You can get over for a while, dog, but something will happen to you acting like that. It's not okay. And that's the reason why the planet is hurting right now. And this album is more about healing not only my trauma, but everybody else's trauma and teaching everybody what we're having a good fucking time. That's what this whole project is about. And that's what West Coast Mafia means to me. And that's what Modern X means to me, too. You know, I always call Down Boulevard the home for the broken-hearted refugee. I just didn't know that I was going to be the one that still have a broken heart. That's it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, ladies out there listening to the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Blue will be posting my pictures up. So if any of y'all, no, I'm playing.
So to answer your question that you asked before this recording or this podcast, you asked me where can you find Measy Fettuccine DiCaprio on BandLab. His username is BWS_hitstick.
You can find him on all platforms too, which is really cool. And pretty sure I don't want to say how soon, but I guarantee you that within this year, it was supposed to drop in November, which sucks because it was supposed to drop in November, but some bullshit happened. This time I'm not gonna let that happen. This time nothing's gonna get in the way, and this project is gonna drop, and we're gonna discuss the legal details of what's gonna happen, and we're just gonna all have a good time, and hopefully we're gonna make some money out of these projects, man. Because that's just what needs to happen, bro. And hopefully within that time, it's going to heal some trauma too for a lot of people, bro. Because there's a lot of people out here that are going through the issues that I talk about on this album that need to hear this album. You know what, dude the other day asked me, could I send him my song, or did I need him to pay for it? And that was a start. It was just one person, you know what I'm saying? But it was also a start. And so that's fire. And I want to read something to you too, real quick. So, you remember me talking about gang stalking and things of this nature that's really hard on people's psychology and stuff of that nature?
Sure. Yeah. I got you.
Well, last night as I was meditating to the one source, I met this dude who I'm not going to say his name, but all the receipts that I need, the 3,500 U.S. patents, shout outs to Kyler Davenport too. Even though I'm not over there right now on Lone Wolf Radio, I still want to shout out Kyler Davenport and Lone Wolf Radio because he's been a contributor to my mental state too. And he's been a lesson, period. You know, I'm still looking to work with him in the future, but if it doesn't work, I would love to work with you in the future as well, even more, you know, and us get back to what we were doing before, which, you know, we were discussing issues and we were knocking them out of the park and we were making people feel better about their lives, dog. And not only just because they just thought that they felt better about their life, but because we were actually discussing positive affirmations and we were really offering really solid advice to people and helping people to find a way out of their trauma. Because there's a lot of people in trauma right now, dude. Do you realize that? It's a lot of people.
Yeah, and you know that's and you know what? Let me add something to that because I'm really glad that you said that. We do need to do that. We do need to try to help heal the trauma that's going on with a lot of people because every single day there's people that are always finding the answer to heal their trauma. And then something else, a distraction or, the devil or, or whatever you want to call it, an obstacle gets in the way and whatever, and they forget almost everything they knew when they were healed or when they were healing. And they go right back and they going back into trauma again. So you're right. We got to stay focused.
I'm so glad that you said that right there.
We got to stay focused.
I'm so glad that you said that right there. Not to cut you off, man.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that right there. Here's the important part. Oftentimes, and here's the answer, because EP/album, whatever you want to call it, the project is called The Answer. The project, Kode Red project, The Answer, which discusses these things that we're talking about. The answer is this. Often along the way, do we lose our way when we forget to practice the gratitude and abundance mentality? Write something down in the morning when you wake up, and 3 things that you're grateful for. A lot of times we wake up and we open the curtains and we look outside and we're like, damn, the freaking garbage man didn't come, or oh my gosh, the birds are tweeting, or dude, it's too bright outside, or oh my god, this, and we just be stuck in a cycle of complaining, bro. Not even grateful. Like, it's people like without limbs. It's people turning human bones into drugs in Africa right now. Like, literally human bones into drugs and doing drugs and made out of human bones. And there's a lot of addiction cycle in the United States, including the series Painkillers, which just came out, which is talking about Oxycontin and all this. And they did it, and they sat there and they laughed in our faces and got people addicted and make money off of it while putting hella people in incarceration and criminalizing poverty, particularly Arizona. Like, Arizona's crime rate is high because of poverty, mental health, and substance abuse. And it's on the internet, bro. That's fucking crazy. And this is why I'm talking about the shit on my album, right? So we have to be thankful for that. Another thing that we lose our way is when we stop doing affirmations. Write down your goals 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night, bro. Do that for like a month and see how you power through shit and what happens to you, dude. And be grateful. And that's the other thing. We be stopping to ask them. We come to the one source so many times when we're in pain and when we're hurt. If you don't believe in Yahweh, like whatever your higher power is, whatever the one source is, we come to it in a form of abuse. And cycles of abuse, dude. We don't even think it. We just be like, oh well, like we take the shit that it does for us for granted, right? And instead of like coming to it willingly when all it wants is a relationship with us, bro. That's a form of psychosis that's been imposed on all of us, and this is what the answer discusses. This is the thing.
That's deep.
So,
that's deep. Yeah. I got you.
I want people to know that shit. Like, even me. Like, I'm thankful for the shit that happened with Lige, bro. I am. Regardless, I'm thankful for that shit. Because you know what? It made me stronger at the end of the day. Regardless what. And I hope that young lady has a great life. And that everything's going good with her. And that she reaches her highest potential. And she listens to her higher self. And that's the other thing is when we become a poor steward, we can't operate in our lives correctly because we're being a poor steward of things. And then, like, what do you expect to what do you expect the consequences are going to be of that? You know, she wanted a gangster type dude. Okay, well, I'm not a fit specific descriptor, but that don't mean you got to act a certain way all the time. I mean, it's really gangster healing. It's really gangster. And spirituality, not necessarily religion, but spirituality and getting connection with nature and the one source, like that's really gangster, bro.
Yeah, I guess things are changing. I guess things are just.
Go ahead.
I guess things just keeps changing over time, and that's just the way it is. And as long as we just keep focused, and then nothing can change without us knowing, And so,
I'm glad you said that too. You know what the double slit experiment is? Because we were talking about that this morning too. The double slit experiment. Are you familiar with that?
Enlighten us about that, Mr. Kode Red.
So I'm gonna do this, and then I want to read this letter because it's not a long letter, but it's just like a little blurb. I want to read that thing after that. So in modern physics, the double slit experiment demonstrates that light and matter can satisfy the seemingly incongruous classical definitions for both waves and particles, which is considered evidence for the fundamentally nature of quantum mechanics. Basically, what is happening with a lot of people is we're becoming disconnected from the one source, i.e. the quantum field. It's either happening by food, water, air. What you think is chemtrails in the sky is probably not chemtrails. What it probably is burning across the sky from the microwave waves from the satellites, because that makes more sense.
Okay.
We talk about this on the fucking answer. Y'all gonna have to buy the album to hear it, but listen, these things that we're talking about, man, we're talking about this shit for a reason. So basically, the law of attraction, things only change based upon how we view them. How do you view yourself? How do you view your situations? How do you view your surroundings? How do you view others around you? Are you cool with your neighbors? Or are you not cool with your neighbors? This is the things that's going to separate us and make us either grow or perish as humanity ultimately. And basically the planet's going to rebel against us before we rebel against it anyways. But we rebelled against the planet long enough, dog. On some real shit. And we willingly bought into some bullshit that we all thought was cool. And it's not. And that's what the answer discusses.
Yeah.
It's just really sad that I had to form a trauma bond and love bond to fucking grow to not even grow to, because I was already at that point. You know what I'm saying? If you think about the conversations that I've had from you all the time, when did those conversations like this stop? In your opinion, when did I stop having these types of conversations with you?
Oh, just as soon as Vibes snatched that phone and smashed that motherfucker. Some shit like that, something like that.
This nigga's corny. That's hilarious. Yeah. And, I was listening to Celestial. Shout out Celestial. I gotta, if y'all don't know who she is, check that young lady out on YouTube. I'm gonna check her out too. She's reportedly a prophetess, and she speaks about the Bible a lot, dude. So, meditation, I think once I became focused on something that was distracting and not necessarily prosperous, that's when these types of conversations happen to you. And, stop happening with you. And why did that happen? Because I too was being a poor steward, and we were both poor stewards together. So I hope, she's a better steward with the next person that she loves. And I hope I could be a next person, a better steward with the next person that loves me. Or that I love. Because that's important. Just period, you know what I'm saying, type shit. So I want to read this right quick, too. Globalist elitists. Understand the role that you play in enlightenment, awakening, next phase of human evolution is on the horizon. What you've implemented to weaken will only serve to strengthen the human psyche. What you've intended for control will only serve to unite. What you've intended to destroy will bring forth life. You are facilitating your own end, not a one-world government, a one-world revolution, a new heaven and a new earth. You are the disfavored gene. Get right or get left behind. Judgment is upon you. You've been warned. This morning I was talking to Navajo lady, and she was telling me about the Trail of Tears, and she was telling me about some of the prayers in the Bible, and particularly comparing them to like some of the Navajo mantras, and they look really similar. And she said that she thought that the reason why what happened to them on the Trail of Tears happened to them was because of the fact that that their oppressors knew the power of their mantras. That's fucking crazy. How many times do you think people's spoken words have either been oppressed, utilized against them, or weaponized, in opposition to them for just like for a narcissist or somebody who's again wanting to form a trauma bond or love bombing somebody or trying to be totalitarian or tyrannical to a person. And that's what the album The Answer is about. That's just what it is. Black Haze, that record Black Haze, I know you heard that record, right? That record right there, that's what that's about. She's a runaway. That's what that's about too. It's not only just about a woman. The record is not only just about a woman. It's about America too. It's a euphemism for Lady Liberty actually on that record. Yeah. So that's where we're at with things. Moving forward, let's do some things. Maybe I can bring some more cool people around here, and maybe I can come over here more times too, and we can discuss different things. I got to catch up politically because I have not been paying attention to what's going on in the world. I think how informed I was before. I kind of got disconnected from that because I had to go inside of myself, and start with myself. So that's the thing. I think the last piece of information that I got was about the red states. 45 is conquering all these red states, which is crazy to me because this is a fucking RICO law, dog. How are you going to be the president of the United States and you're fucking RICO law? How does that happen? And which is funny because that brings us back up to speed about the last time we talked, where we were talking about the difference between him and Young Thug. This is so much bullshit going on, man.
The thing is this, though. The thing is this, though. There's so much bullshit going on, and I think it's because I feel like, the way I view life right now, I'm viewing it like everybody wants to fabricate something. Everybody wants to make something up. Everybody wants to create something to fabricate something else. The thing is that just like you said, there's a lot of shit going on. You got there's so much going on that it's really important that we're talking about this because things are changing over time, and just like you said, things are only changing based on how you view life. Well, this album, The Answer, this is something that may cause a change. I'm thinking that this might spark change.
That's what I'm hoping, bro, and I thank you for that, Blue. If I made you uncomfortable, then good. If it made you think, and it catalyzed positive change or positive outcome in you, and you enjoy, you felt my pain, and you identified with my pain, and you or any other emotion that I express on this album, right? Any other thing, if you felt that and it helped you reach a positive outcome, good. I did my fucking job, and that's all that I care about. That's all that I care about. I'm not gonna say I want millions and billions of fucking dollars. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm not dependent on necessarily a project to get me to that point either. And I think that's another thing too, is a lot of people are doing shit just for a useless fucking piece of paper that's gonna but that's the reason why I have a peer support certification, so I can go fucking do that for work, or go back to school and I don't know, do something else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll do a fucking business proposal with you and we'll get some money. I don't know. Something cool. But I would enjoy the support of people, and I would enjoy for people to come and check out these projects. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to say too, I gotta friend you on TikTok. I lost my other TikTok, like you said, due to a piece of my equipment being stabbed by a phone. What's funny about that shit? What's funny about that shit is that the name that she read in the phone when she accused me of cheating and projected of cheating and stabbed my phone viciously was one of those Nigerian scammer names, bro.
Yeah.
And the reason why she did that is because she was projecting, because she was doing what she was doing, which is stupid. Because why would you go all the way? Why would you come all the way to Arizona just to have me to come to California when you know I needed to go to a battle, a rap battle, right, in fucking Salem, and you just pushed it. Remember, you were like, you should go to Salem instead. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, she's pushing the agenda. So blah blah blah. Why the fuck would she waste everybody's time like that?
Why would she? Why?
I don't know the answer.
And why did she do that?
Unfortunately, that's the one thing I don't know the answer to. that's a fucking bar, right? But so I would like you guys to friend me at Ronin Militia on TikTok. I don't have an IG right now.
Okay.
Snapchat?
So what do you do on? So let me ask you something real quick before we wrap this up. We got about 2 minutes left, or 4 minutes. Okay. What do you?
My Snapchat is Michael Militia. My Snapchat is Michael Militia.
What do you do on TikTok? What do you share on TikTok for your followers?
Right now, I'm sharing a lot of peer support tips. I'm discussing the same types of things that I'm discussing right there with you, which is mental health, topics on incarceration, substance abuse, lots of things that are healing for people, bro. Because that's necessary. Things that are occurring in our world that you may or may not know about the deep state. We're talking about that. Different raps, just like, you know, it's a closer window to me. Because I don't want to just, like, I could have opened the OnlyFans, and I did at one point in time. Shout out vibes. We did. We fucking opened the OnlyFans. Shout out. I don't know where that shit's at. I don't know. Fuck it. Somebody's gonna find some pictures and shit one day and be like, what the fuck? Type shit, right? But it's okay because I don't hide my pain. Anybody got a question, they can come. I'm an open book, you know? So that's what you guys get on my TikTok, is you get an open book. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, man. So we can find you on TikTok, and now we got you on Snapchat. Great.
Yeah, Michael Militia. You guys can find me at Michael Militia. You guys can find me at Ronin Militia and that's RONIN. I believe there's a dot in between the Ronin and the Militia, though. So it's RONIN.MALITIA, Ronin Militia on TikTok. You guys come over, and if you guys want me to go live, like, come over, because I was close. We were close. We were finna fucking, Glue, we were like 400 followers away probably on TikTok. Last time I checked, we from going live. Fucking shit, man. And then the world blew up. It's all right, though. We're not upset about it, man.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're running out of time, but I want you to stay on the phone. I want you to stay online because I'm going to do another setting. You know, we can set up another episode and we can talk about our next topic.
Okay,
so everybody, thanks for tuning. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. I know. I sorry we kept you so long, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, I'm JBLUE Sanders. I got my boy Kode Red. I got the homie Kode Red, aka Michael Militia, Michael Militia. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all tune in, or actually just keep a lookout for the EP or the album. The Answer by Kode Red. All right, y'all stay tuned. I'll be right back at you. Peace.